It's a new wicket, like you can see. Any changes in your squad?
Just one.
Who is coming in?
Nani Edith is out. Barbara is in.
Do we look to see a strong performance from what we saw in the opening game?
Oh yes, it's going to be better than yesterday.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Captain, Kongs on the toss.
Thank you
What are you doing to do?
for batting.
Why?
Just want to put as many runs as possible on the board.
What target do you think is good enough on a such nice looking wicket?
130.
130.
Yeah.
Good luck in your game.
Thank you.
Any new changes?
No, not at all.
All right. Good luck to the green and yellow girls.
Thank you.
As you've heard from the middle, Nigeria won the toss and will have a bat.
Only if you need me.
Five of Kwibuka T20 Tournament. Kenya take on Nigeria. Nigeria have won the toss and opted to bat.
versus Nigeria, and we'll be live from Gahanga. The world is watching you guys. First women's cricket in 2 years in the continent of Africa. Standing in the umpires today will be Olivier Intagishaka and Jackson Zaisenga, both from Rwanda. The third umpire will be Mr. Eric Hira. I hope I'm telling the truth. Looks like he's NSE. Well, we'll start with a moment of silence for the 1994 victims of the genocide against the Tutsi. May their souls rest in peace. The home team is Kenya, so we'll start with the Nigerian anthem. Now on to the one from Kenya. Well done. Beautiful anthems there from the two countries. The Battle of East Africa versus the Battle of West Africa will be coming up shortly. Samantha, please lead your teammates right across the umpires.
But what?
Nicely. Favor could be on your side.
Are you
Say
able
hi
to
to
see
your
it on your
opposition. After all, it's the gentleman's sport.
able to see?
Andre, please also lead them across.
No. Refresh करेगा हाँ किया
Quick team
फिर I was
photos
able to
there.
see no
Do post for your quick
6
team.
7 8 6 में अंदर में
Playing 11 for Nigeria today. The green and yellow balls that won the toss and opted to bat first. Favor Sigibe, Abdul Kadir, Blessing a team, Salome Sunday,
दोनों भी गलत पासवर्ड चला रहा है ये दोनों
Samantha
गलत है
Akasuma, the captain,
मैं गाली खाऊंगा अभी
Agatha Ablo, Abigail Igobie, Efosa Joy, Mary Desmond, Rachel Samson, Sunday Esther, and Blessing Rombodo will be doing the 12th man duties. Well, for Team Kenya, just the one change from the squad that won the first game of their campaign yesterday. Of course, Kenya with the bragging rights as three-time champions. Albert Banja, Boche, Sarah Bakita Wetoto, Monica Abuga, Eber, Sharon Juma, Esther Wangari, Ruth Ambio, Jen Achieng, Lavenda Alavista, Flavia Atieno, Movin Changoiza, and Josephine Abuom will be doing the 12th woman duties. Umpires already in the middle, Olivier Intagishaka, Jackson Zaisenga, both from Rwanda. Let's do battle. Let's enjoy. It's the beautiful day of cricket. Match 10, number 3, game 5. Kenya lost the toss and will be bowling. Samantha Gazuma, the captain of the Nigerians, saying that 130 will be the score she's targeting on this new looking placid wicket. Well, let's see what she can do. Kenya in the huddle, Nigeria in the huddle. The calm before the storm. Time to rally and pump up the volume in each other's camps.
Hello and welcome to day 3 of the Kwibuka T20 Tournament. Kenya v Nigeria. Kenya coming off a win over still. Nigeria lost their opening encounter to Namibia on the opening day. Nigeria have won the toss, headed to bat first for a change. The first time a team winning the toss has chosen to bat first. With me, the company of Ananya Upen. Hello, Ananya. Ball number 1 pushed to the offside. Jahinde Abdul Qadri is the opening batter for Nigeria. And she gets off the mark, tucks one round the corner to the onside and gets going. So do Nigeria. Lavenda Idambo taking the Kenya. And it's time to welcome Ananya Upendran with me here. Favor Esigbe, the other opener for Nigeria. She's played more matches as a wicketkeeper for them. And pushes one to the offside. No run. Still to get going is Favor Esigbe. Another one to the offside.
Another one to the
So Kenya continue to have that short cover fielder there. We saw Queen Tor Abel man that position yesterday. She's continuing to stand there. Another very, very good from Idambo. The first over gone, just a single on the board.
Over number 2 of the day, and it looks like the skipper, Margaret Banya, is taking the new ball at the other end. Good morning, Sudarshana. Apologies for the audio issue.
30, as they say.
Again, that outside off stump channel. Kahinde Abdul Qadri getting beaten outside the off stump. It's interesting that Kenya have persisted, like you mentioned, with that short cover. Nigeria's frailties with the bat. Another swish and a miss outside off stump. Do you think the way that Kenya bowled in the first game and the way the Nigerians batted in their opening game, do you think Kenya could potentially bring in a slip, do you think?
I think so. You can stop. Nigeria are quite defensive in their approach, very cautious there. So it could probably help to extra fielders close to the batters just to kind of start flow of runs even more. It's just a single, I know. Again, early days in the tournament. It's a round robin format. We are into day three. Just the second match for Nigeria as well as Kenya here. Botswana have played two games and they are at the bottom of the pile, losing both their fixtures so far. Another good ball outside of that short cover fielder. Quintor Abel there doing a job. 2 overs gone. Very conservative start. Player Spot is India's number one gaming destination. आपने hashtag किया? Go to the app. The link is in the description and make your team ahead. Clashes. Slight bit of a misfield there at third man. That's flicked away nicely. There's no fielder in the deep. Player from inside the circle rushes and chases it down, but can't prevent the batter. That's excellent running between the wickets and wonderful way for Favor Esigbe to get going there. The freebie almost on the pads. But then you can understand the approach at the beginning, can't you? Because they are coming back from a loss, they haven't played much.
I suppose you can understand a slightly cautious approach up front, especially when your top order is who you're counting on to get those big runs. A cautious approach, I guess, is understandable, but one of the things that we saw held back Nigeria was this kind of approach, an approach where they were looking to survive rather than score runs. Again, beaten outside the off stump. These little things show you. I mean, I think give good indication of a batting that was wide, deserved to be punished. But she's poking at it, barely moving her feet, kind of swishing, playing a nothing shot, as they call it, outside off stump. So there is a lot of, I suppose, there isn't much confidence in these opening batters.
It was a risky single taken there. Seems to be a direct hit, but Kehinde just making it, I guess, or Esigbe, in fact, making it quite well. Reactions suggested otherwise. have played it from the crease. 3 overs gone, 7 without loss.
The game is on, the game is live. East African and West African derby. Kenya losing the toss. 7 runs on board for the Nigerians after 3 overs, no loss.
Make a match-winning team, win up to ₹5 crores every day on the Player Spot app. Hashtag Khela Kya. Who are one or two of the players you have in your team, Ananya, you would not want to let in on a secret?
Well, that is a very, very interesting question. I think we had a discussion about this yesterday, and the utility of someone like Queen Torable, I think an all-rounder bowls, is always in the wicket, that's at the top of the order, hard-hitting batter, and she's in positions in the field as well. So definitely someone like Queen Torable, I think. Interesting, there's an appeal from the keeper there. Was the batter outside the... Well, the keeper was convinced, it seems. She's having a bit of a giggle there. Juma, trying to be a little smart, but had nothing to do with it. Well, going back to your question, I think someone like Queen Torable, who always seems to be in the game, would be a good pick to be in your players team of the game. And maybe against her opening partner, Veronica Abuga. Again, we some really expensive shots. Oh no. Poor running there from Nigeria. Just when I was about to say, good to see them looking for runs, they had to go and do something like this. Went on the back foot, punched it to point, and the non-striker took off, but clearly the striker wanted nothing to do with that run. There, no man's land. Kehinde Abdul Qadri selling out favor Esigbe. Nigeria lose their first wicket, 7 for 1.
Yeah.
7 for 1 after 3.3 overs. 18 Blessing walks in. Leading run scorer for Nigeria in T20 internationals. She's at the non-striker's end. But it's really favor Esigbe's call, isn't it? Because Kehinde tapped it to the offside, which essentially meant that the keeper was the danger end. And so favor Esigbe's call.
Well, I think you can argue for that both ways. Someone who was nitpicking would say that wasn't backward point, it was forward of point, so it still is the striker's call. The striker was on the foot. So maybe it wasn't. I think had she taken off, she probably would have made it. But lack of understanding, I suppose.
Beauty. Absolute beauty. Kehinde Abdul Qadri has had a Unforgettable over there, running out a partner, and one that jacks back in disturbs her woodwork. Quick wickets at the start. That's something that Nigeria wouldn't have needed after winning the toss. 8 for 2.
Very beautiful swinger there from the captain of Kenya, Margaret.
Eight for 2 Nigeria after 3.5 overs. Abigail Igbobi is the new batter in. So let's talk about that run out that sort of started this mini side. Sarah Witeto must be the happiest player on the field, because as fielders at backward point region, you always pride on the fact that those are guys before taking on your arm. You are someone who is used to manning that region. Tell us what it feels like to get a run out.
Oh, there's nothing quite like it. It's probably one of the more after the spot. And that's wicket number 3 for Kenya. Margaret Ngoche is on a roll here. Another lovely in-swinger. Swung quite late. Tucked up Abigail Igbobi on the back foot. It's caught right in front. It seems to have gone through. Hit off stump. She went nowhere really. Just like this Nigerian innings, it's going nowhere. 9 for 3 in just 4 overs.
For Team Kenya, including the run out, she completed with the vice captain Sarah Wetoto. 3. Last wicket out was Igobia, sent for a quick shower. Abigail, and into bat for Kenya, for Nigeria at number 5 is Sunday Salome.
Triple wicket maiden. Triple wicket over, in fact. 9 for 3 after 4 overs. On the Players Spot app and get cash back on your first deposit. The link is in the description. On the pads, easy pickings. No one to complain. Blessing a team that's going with a bounce for him. That must set her. That's a swing and a miss on the offside. 13 for 3. Do check the Player Spot app and stand a chance to win 5 crores every day. Hashtag Kwibuka. And if you are from Kenya, I'm sure you'll be happy. That's thrashed. That's thrashed through the offside. Not much power there. The fielder will chase it down. Esther Wachira. But the batters do run too. So A-Team Blessing is really getting going here. 15 for 3 on Nigeria. So what an over that from Margaret Ngoche in the previous one. 3 wickets. And she's on a hat trick. She bowled a wide there. Five overs, 16 for 3 Nigeria.
Most fruitful over for Nigeria thus far. 7 runs from the over for Nigeria. Good one, good one, good one.
Ngoche coming in for her third over, a hat trick. Remember, 3 wickets off 3 legal deliveries consecutively make a hat trick, so that doesn't matter. Blessing Etam to face the hat trick delivery. And she thrashes it over point. Little respect for the Kent captain's bowling. Blessing short, wide, pounces on it and cuts it over point. That gets another boundary, her second in 2 overs. The Nigerian vice captain is really looking to score some runs today. This is a refreshing approach from her, Sudarshan.
Yeah, and especially given how tight Ngoche bowled the previous over, 3 wickets in that over. It was just cute. The Nigeria's innings at the start was already devoid of momentum. And then you come across an over where 3 wickets fall. How do you accelerate? But here's Blessing, who's got 2 boundaries in relatively quick succession.
A lot will ride on Blessing Etam. She is Nigeria's second highest run getter. She is one of their most experienced players, the only Nigerian to score a 50 in T20Is as well. So a lot is riding on her shoulders, and she's clearly showing that she wants to lead from the front. She's keen to get Nigeria to a target that will challenge Kenya, hopefully. We've seen the Kenyan top order, how powerful they are. So Nigeria will need to get a score in excess of 100, 120 even, to even challenge that top order.
There seems to be a slight hold-up in play, probably because the ball crossed the boundary. We've seen that yesterday as well. They had to clean the ball and check it. But well, make a match-winning team on the Player Spot app, and you could win up to rupees 5 crores daily. Hashtag Khela Kya. And then you were telling about the players, or 1 or 2 players in your team, Player Spot team. you have Sara with it?
Well, I mean, would I have Sara with it too? Of course, the way she went yesterday, she clearly is one of the bowlers who's causing a lot of trouble to the opposition batter. So definitely pick someone like Sara with it too. And the way Blessing Etam has started today, I think she is an all-rounder, so she'll have some impact with the ball as well. So I think she'd make a good pick too.
Kenya just recalibrating the field after that boundary. Was a bad delivery, short and wide. Blessing Etam making full use of it. 20 for 3. Etim's on 11 of just 6 balls, 2 fours to her name. One a tuck of her hips, and then this short and wide ball over backward point. And another wide. Suddenly, she seems to be an altogether different bowler than someone who was on the verge of a hat trick at the start of the over.
And just as you say that, she's bang on target again. Short of length delivery gets pushed to point. Sara Wetito there again. She's in the game all the time. But this is actually an interesting partnership for Nigeria for me. Blessing Etam and Salome Sunday. One is Nigeria's most experienced batter, and the other an upcoming youngster who has been in the runs. She's only played 6 games, but she scored above 100 runs. So I think this is going to be a key partnership for them.
Oh, that's a bit of a harsh call. And that reaction from Margaret says it all. But Salome Sunday played really well on Sunday, the first day. They were facing Namibia. Those cover drives that she played really showed a lot of promise before falling short. Oh dear, she's lost it all. And now she's changing her side, coming round. Did the halt have something to do with Margaret losing her rhythm?
Not sure. Probably could have. It does seem like she's lost her line. Those last 2 deliveries of the previous over were spot on. And now she seems to have completely lost her line more than her length.
And it's thrashed over the infield yet again. Blessing Etam is really making use of the rhythm, Margaret, and it's the second boundary in the over. She moves to 15.
I think it's quite interesting that she's come around the wicket as a swinger. She did get her first 2 wickets moving the ball in, so to come around the wicket and which will potentially minimize any swing that she is getting. And Blessing Etam's clearly shown that she's very good off when there's width. So this is an interesting ploy from the Kenyan captain. Whether she thinks this will mean that she bowls slightly straighter, I'm not sure. But I don't think as a coach I would advise something like this.
And another swing and a miss. So 2 boundaries over that ends the power play. Nigeria finished it at 27 for 3. Sign up on the Player Spot app and get 100% cashback on your first deposit. Link to the download is in the description. And meanwhile, the star of the previous clash for Kenya, Sarah Witeto, comes into the attack.
Starts with another loopy delivery, slightly short outside the off stump, and Salome Sunday is pushed to extra cover, gets off the mark with that. Another wild swing from Blessing at him, trying to clear side. She clearly doesn't approve of Sarah Wateto's loopy offies. Wants to go after her, it seems.
That's driven nicely through covers for a couple. I think Salome Sunday loved the cover region. It was off the spinner that
Yes.
she hit the boundary through the offside on Sunday as well.
Yes, with what little we've seen in the last games, she clearly does look very accomplished through the offside, and it's very refreshing these associate teams develop their game on that side of the wicket as well.
Witeto high on confidence from her performing boosting fifer yesterday. Is really keeping it tight. How do you play her? How do you play her?
Well, I guess it's a question that people who've managed to play Poonam Yadav would answer. At the end of 7 overs, Nigeria are 31 for 3.
Play fun games on the Players Spot app and win up to 5 crores daily. Hashtag Khela Kya. That's the Players Spot fantasy app. You can download it from the description in the link. Lots of prizes to be won, and that brings Queen Tor Abel into the attack. She's someone who's forced us to think or talk about points for mere fielding efforts, manning the short cover region for Kenya, a signature for them. But Blessing Etienne's attacking sense has forced them to move away from that strategy, and it's straight away. Etienne goes back and punches it through covers for a couple of Abel's first delivery. But the batting side especially are slowly trying to, getting comfortable at the slow pace at which the spinners are bowling. You could see how easily Etienne went back and punched that to the offside.
Now she's hoiked one to the onside, looking for the boundary, it seems, but didn't quite get that. just a single down on. Yes, I do think the batters are kind of used to this lack of pace. They understand that they need to force it. They're either going back, well back into the crease and making space to hit through the offside, which is great to see. That they've clearly learned that they need to find ways to score off these kind of bowlers. Another quick single to mid-off. This urgency between the wickets for Nigeria is great. We didn't see it in their opening game. And it's nice constantly looking for runs. That is one thing that we haven't seen from the likes of Nigeria so far.
It's a strange bit
Another
of
strong cover drive from Blessing Etim there. Fielder overthink or wasn't sure whether to cut the ball off at the angle. Seems to chase it, but Nigeria managed to come back for two, 37 for 3 in 8 overs.
pushed powerfully towards mid-off. 37 for 3 are Nigeria. Remember, they won the toss and have chosen to bat first. That's a lovely ball. But tell me what it takes to bat through the middle overs. We talk about the power play and the death overs as a couple of parts of a T20 match, but often it so happens that the winner and losers are kind of differentiated on the basis of they play in the middle overs.
But I think a lot of it has to do with being able to rotate strike, minimizing dot balls. That's always key in all cricket, whether you're playing one day or T20 cricket. Full punch to the offside again from Blessing Etim will get her. So being able to manipulate the field like that, find the gaps and push hard between the wickets. I think the more you strike, the easier it gets to find the boundary because you're forcing captains to think about what their bowlers are doing. Another strong push down. Salome Sundays looked quite accomplished off that front foot, don't you think, through these last two games? Oh, it looks like the over is up. Sarah with Hito, another miserly over, 40 for 3, Nigeria in 9 overs.
Sign up on the Player Spot app and get up to 100% cash back on your first deposit. You can download the app from the link in the description. 40 for 3 after 9 overs on Nigeria. And Queen able for her second over. The shot that punched to the fielder at covers. It's a quick single, good running between the wickets. This is something refreshing, isn't it? You don't often associate urgency between the wickets with the associate sides, but Sunday as well as Etim have looked to accelerate not just through boundaries but also through their running between the wickets.
Looks like the skipper, Margaret Ngoche, who was at extra cover, seems to have hurt herself. I wonder if she got a bad bounce or something. Yes, coming back to your point about running between the wickets, I think it is important, especially when you don't have the power to be able to clear the boundary. Urgency between the wickets is very important. So if you combine that with being able to manipulate the field, play slightly innovative strokes, open up different areas. Think of someone like England's Fran Wilson, for example. She doesn't necessarily have a lot of power to clear the boundaries, and she's very, very good through those middle overs because she's to find those singles and twos, and she's rapid between the wickets. And she's a very good T20 player for that reason. So I think that's one thing that has continued to improve at the associate level. Teams do understand that because they need to find ways to score, this is probably one of the easiest ways. Developing power, of course, takes time, developing that kind of strength. But urgency between the wickets is something that is easier to develop, and it's much quicker to develop as well.
It's also about setting a pace for the rest of the batters to follow, isn't it? We saw Thailand last year in the World Cup. They didn't have a good time at the start of the tournament, but as they progressed, timeouts in the middle, plus that final game against Pakistan, which got washed out, could almost feel as if it was Thailand's game to win. The openers, Nataya Bhuchatam as well as Natakan Chantam, putting on a show there. So you can't really compare that here, but I just sense that Blessing a team and Salome Sunday could be onto something on those lines.
Certainly, and you can see it's a change in their approach in the way that these batters are constantly looking for runs. They're playing forceful shots, even if it is straight to the fielder. Another one of those sweep shot, or half sweep, it seems, standing sweep, deep fine leg. They come back for two again. They're looking for ways to score, constantly trying to hit the ball harder than they were in that early game, in the first game, sorry. And, it was just a matter of survival, it seemed like, for Nigeria. But today you can see they are looking for runs. They understand the need to get a higher total, to give something their bowlers to bowl at.
Able just having a relook at her field. And that's wonderfully bowled in line of the stumps, but the inside edge means that the ball goes to the onside for another single. 44 for 3. We're closing in on that halfway mark. And I think Nigeria are placed pretty well given how they began.
Definitely. It's been an excellent recovery from these two. Still to go.
Shot. Lovely shot. That's getting that stride out. You always talk about getting the foot to the pitch of the ball, don't you? That's something that Blessing really did well. Sunday, in fact. A couple of runs to Sunday's tally. Did not snatch anything away from her. Yet again worked away to the on. Another single. 10 overs gone. Nigeria are 48 for 3. The partnership is worth 39 between Sunday and Etim. 48 for 3 after 10.
For 3, blessing a team on 26 and Sunday Salome on 10.
Player Spot is India's #1 destination. आपने hashtag खेला क्या? And those who have the likes of Bless Salome Sunday, we're really clapping their hands. While Sara Witeto, the vice captain of Kenya, is going through another good spell. 2 overs for 7 so far. And another one down the leg side. The extras are something that Kenya will have to relook at. 7 already. 49 for 3.
Good 3 balls from Sara Witeto there. Attacking the stumps like she did in the previous game. Very, very slow through the air. She's seen that these 2 batters are good through the offside, so bowling straighter lines.
That's a lovely full toss, taken full toll of it as a Sunday. The first boundary today. It had to be a very bad ball from Witeto that leaks runs from off her bowling. It was full toss. She just had to guide it well and she used a bit of power as well. 53 for 3. They're closely inching towards that 50-run partnership. $53 for 3 after 11. Nugoche will look towards now was her spinners, whom surely relied a bit more on. Have not found success as of yet. A bit short, powerfully down the ground, pushed just for the single, or in fact a couple that's good running once again. Blessing at him. There is a fielder at long on, but he probably was a bit wider. And you can see Abel anchor a bit, but a couple of runs taken, 55 for 3. This is a wonderful for Nigeria. They would have wanted this from one of their top orders. But they won't complain as long as it's carrying on. And another wide. I think the spinners are struggling to find their lines as well. What's happening, Ananya?
I think it's got a lot to do with Nigeria's approach today. This attacking approach has thrown Kenya, it seems. They've already had their plans. Another quick single from these two. Fantastic running from the pair. They're putting a lot of pressure on the Kenyan fielders. And I think this is what has caused Margaret Ngoche and her bowlers to maybe, I think they're still recalibrating. They're not sure what they should do, what they can do. Yesterday they stuck with very, very simple plans of bowling outside the off stump, keeping all the fielders in. But today they've been challenged by this pair, and they're still not sure what they should do because they're finding the boundary, picking those singles, those twos as well. This is going to be a big challenge for these spinners. Very experienced pair in Sarah Wateto and Queen Torre.
It's also a lot of experience that's in the middle at the moment for Nigeria, isn't it? Blessing a team, of course, has the only 50 that a Nigerian cricketer has hit, whereas Salome Sunday, best of 45, which is the second highest individual score for them. So these are really the best couple of batters in the middle, and they're delivering when it matters. Just about 8 overs to go, 57 for 3. It's also a time where you should start thinking what an ideal score could be. We saw Namibia hush and push the way to 100 yesterday. That proved to be enough. Will Nigeria be looking at a similar score? Come back to it next over. 12 overs gone, 67 for 2. Sign up on the Player Spot app and get 100% cash back on your first deposit. And you could also stand a chance to win points and whatnot. Hope you've had your teams made for this game. Remember, there's match number 2 coming your way. So do get in the app. The link for the download is in the description. Meanwhile, Melvin Idambo is introduced into the attack. Her second game this is. So the ideal score, what would Nigeria be happy with? What would they be very comfortable with?
Well, I think if these two carry on, or hopefully they carry on for another 4 or 5 overs, I think they should be aiming around 120. It's still going to be a bit of they'll have to bat very well to get there. But if they are to put any sort of pressure on this Kenyan batting lineup, they will need around that 110, 120 mark. And I'm sure they understand putting pressure on the fielders in the deep, but clearly Blessing understands the need to get to that mark, need to get at least a runner ball from here. Ideally, 7 runs and over would probably put them in a place where they'd be happy. They'd be rather comfortable with that kind of total. But again, a lot will depend on the, I think Blessing Atom will have to bat through the overs, or at least till the 18th over, because I'm not quite sure how much the lower order can contribute.
The couple in the last ball gave them the 50-run partnership. There was a slight misfeel by Sara Udeto. She was hoping that the batter shot, but it wasn't to be 50-run partnership. Going along nicely. Meanwhile, Hidambo is lofted over the offside, in fact, over mid-off, and that will run away to the boundary. Now we see Blessing starting to open up a bit. Just about 7 overs to go, and this had a bit, and she was very, very happy to open her arms, go over the offside, wide mid-off the region. 63 for 3. Etim is on 34 of just 28 balls, while Sunday has been relatively quiet, 14 of 23. And that's the end of the 10th over. 60 for 3. Where do Kenya look at for the breakthrough? Queen Torable for the last over. How did that miss, or has it missed anything? It first missed the front pad, missed the stumps, and then Zuma was quick to whip the bails off, but Sunday was well in. $64 for 3. This has been a really kept it tight. Make a day on the Players Spot app. The link is in there. Here's another tossed up. Has she got it? Yes. Blessed bowler head. Not managing to get the elevation. It's such a low-key celebration, it seems to be. But Blessing team was looking dangerous. 44 for 4 Nigeria. Skipper Samara Zuma walks in for Nigeria, 64 for 4. The big partnership that has been broken. If I run stand. It's a nice forward defense to face your first ball, but 14 overs gone, 64 for 4. The platform set, 6 overs left.
Forceful shot from Samantha on the ground. She picks up a single. Melvin Idambo is getting through quickly. It's not giving Nigeria too much time between deliveries. Trying to rush through her overs. Salome Sunday tries to drive that past point. Finds the fielder instead. 69 for 4 Kenya. 15 overs. Got 5 overs. They'll need to increase the scoring rate now.
Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. आपने hashtag खेला क्या? Have you made your teams? Have you picked the right players? Meanwhile, Queen Torable has completed her spell, 4 overs 19 for 1, which means uh, the first look at Flavia Odhiambo, right arm seams with a wide down the leg side, 70 for 4. They are on course to getting that to get to the 100-run mark, aren't they?
Chipped in the air by Agazuma, and they come back for two. Fantastic from Salome Sunday. She's really pushing her captain between the wickets. And yes, I think they do look primed to get to that 100 mark. It is a mental barrier. It will give them a lot of confidence there, especially after the way they batted in the first game.
It is timed nicely through the offside, gets another couple. The fact about the Nigerian skipper Samantha Agazuma is that she doesn't have a duck to her name in T20Is yet. She's just enhanced her reputation so far. She's on 5, so the shot that's one that slapped 2 point, but we'll just get a couple. The boundaries are hard to come by, but Sunday as well as Agazuma ensuring that the scoreboard keeps ticking. Slavia's favorite cricketer, come to it, only the single there, is her teammate Queen Torable. Such an interesting fact, but also interesting for another reason that she is a seamer while Abel is a spinner. What's happened there? Is it a short run or they're looking at something else? Sunday seems to be in a bit of a trouble. Another halt in play. Are they checking for a short run? That's what the umpire seems to suggest. But at the same time, we see Sunday not really standing upright. She's been there for some time now. 30 balls for her 18. How good the relation between Flavia and Abel might be, because she's a favorite cricketer.
Well, it's always great to get the opportunity to play alongside someone you look up to. There's probably no bigger thrill than playing alongside an idol or someone you admire. I'm sure she's learning a lot from her, probably asking her plenty of questions, trying to get as many. That the single down the ground for Salome Sunday. She's looked good through this innings. Looked very solid off the front foot. Quite enjoyed the way she's playing those drives of both spinners and pacers. But coming back to your question, I'm sure she's learning as much as she can from Queen Torable, probably annoying her a little bit, maybe. But we've seen what a good cricketer she is. She's she is one of those people who's able to contribute with the bat, with the ball, and in the field as well. So I don't think she could have chosen a better person to look up to, really.
A bit more halt in play. But Samantha Agazuma, the skipper of Nigeria, who's at the non-strikers end right now. In fact, Melvin Idambo seems to have overstepped, and it's going to be a free hit. Or were there the fielding issues there?
Yes, it looks like there were 5 fielders outside the circle. Probably the bowler clearly didn't catch it, but the free hit continues with that wide.
Unfortunate, unlucky, but it's a penalty. You get a dismissal of a free hit. That's how you have to feel. But I think yesterday was another dismissal in such way that the bowler knocked the stumps of a free 83 for 4. This is another thing. Melvin, who's bowling now, and the skipper of Nigeria, Samantha Agazuma, both admire Chris Gale, the West Indian cricketer. And both his aspects are on show. One is batting, one is bowling. The reaction seems to be a bit similar in terms of a release.
Probably also evident in the pace at which she's bowling her off spin. Very fast and flat, having the keeper stand back.
Melvin seems to have really lost control. Another wide there. Already 14 extras here bowled by Kenya. Sara Witeto is back into the attack. Not much success here today for her. 3 overs for 12, 5 for 88. And no sooner do I say that, and she's cleared. Samantha tossed a ball in. Azuma trying to out of Kigali, misses it completely. $82 for 5 Nigeria after 16.1. players, what is India's #1 gaming destination? Hashtag Khela Kya. And if you have Sara Witeto in your side, you can start to rejoice because she's picked up a wicket the first over of her first ball of the very last over. 17.1 overs, it's 85 for 5. Onne Asika is the new batter. Some change for bowlers because there's a left-hander in the middle now. And she gets off the mark. Just her third match for Asika. Nicely gets to the pitch of the ball and pushes it through covers. 6 for 5. So all up to Sun. She's a set batter in the middle. She needs to change gears now. All she manages is black to covers. That single is all she'll get. 87 for 5. Is Sunday struggling to time it, or has she really slowed down due to some other reason?
Asika comes out of her crease again, plays a lovely drive to long off. It's great to see these batters have the confidence to come down the track as soon as they get in. Shows a lot of ability. It's wonderful to see the left-hander do that against an off-spinner. Oh. A wild hoik falls short point. She gets a single for that. Well, coming to your question, I think it's probably a combination of lack of power, unable to time the ball, lack of pace, I think. It's not really helped her. Again, Asika coming out of her crease, manages to steal a single. It's great work from the left-hander. 89 for 5 Nigeria in 18 overs. 2 to go the last couple of overs.
Two overs to go. I'm quite happy because Sateto has a wicket to her name and also has an economy of just 4. I'm happy because she's in my player spot fantasy team. My team is winning big. Hope you've made yours. Hashtag Khela Kya. Meanwhile, Melvin continues. It's nicely to the pitch of the ball. She's not afraid to use her feet. It's a Africa. And that's a really good sign, especially when you've just walked out to bat, given the number of balls left. What I also
It's one of
feel
the
is the momentum. Another quick single there. She makes it in. But direct hit would have meant curtains for Sunday. But I was talking about the momentum, or the lack of it in this case for Nigeria, which probably reflects in their inability to accelerate at the death. Because we've seen T20 as being a fast-paced game where teams on a roll can score faster. That hasn't been the case here.
Down the track, and another nice pickup of her pads. Asika's shown some great ability here. She's quickly moved to 5 of just 4 deliveries. Looks to want to run for everything. Taps it to the bowler and runs halfway down the wicket, waits for her to collect it, and only then goes back. Some audacity. Now skips down the ground again, and this time through the offside. She'll get another couple there. This is fantastic batting from Asika. It's great to see her show such confidence. She's come out to bat and stepped out almost every delivery. Nigeria 95 for 5 in 19 overs.
Player Spot is India's #1 fantasy app. अपने hashtag खेला क्या, and make sure to make your teams for the second clash this afternoon local time in Rwanda. Botswana take on Namibia. Namibia are on a roll, winning both their games, while that has not been the case with Botswana. Meanwhile, skipper Margaret Goche is back for the final over. 95 for 5. Namibia made 101. You see Nigeria bettering that?
Certainly hope they do. I think 6 runs, 7 runs, not too much to ask in the last over. And Omonia Asika has shown great intent, so hopefully they cross that.
Excellent effort at mid-wicket. I think it was Jane Otieno, the fielder. She tried to release the ball very quickly, but ended up doing so at a very slow pace there. So the ball bounced really next to her, close to her. They get a single. 96 for 5. It's time for both the batters to use the long handle now. 2 wickets for Margaret. She really bowled that impressive second over. She picked up 2 wickets, was on the verge of a hat trick. This is just over that short cover. They'll get it. But since that over, everything seemed to go downhill for Margaret. Was wavered in her third, then got hit while fielding at covers. Here she is bowling the final over, 97 for 5, 4 balls to go. Sunday on strike, 26 of 43. Just once has she found the boundary. No sooner did I say that, Sunday gets another boundary, but not in the way she would have wanted. She's raised her arms as if she's purposely hit that, but it's a poor effort on the long off boundary by Ruth Achendo, who's coming to the 11 for this game for Kenya. 101, the same region again. The aerial And once again, there's a misfield. This time doesn't cross the fence. Do they come back for three? Or it's just trickling towards the road? She got a high bounce, but these are not something that you can tell a bowler, let alone your skipper. 3 runs, 7 runs of the last two balls, when there should have been a wicket. You never know. 19.4 overs, 104 for 5. It's already the highest in this edition's Kwibuka T20 tournament. Ika to face. And that's clever. Moves away from the line of the ball, lets it go down the leg side, wide ball. Then 5 for 5. It's one of those days, it seems, where the ball's following her when she's not doing well. A drop catch and come yet again. Doesn't feel it well on the bounce. Camera angle changes, but not the shot. Inside out over. More runs for Nigeria. A couple there. Nasika wanted a third. It's all going downhill.
This is excellent from these batters. Pull from Amonia Asika. And that'll end the innings. Just a single to Nigeria. They finish on 108 for 5. Some excellent batting from Blessing Etim. Salome Sunday and Omonia Asika came in and injected a lot of impetus in those last couple of overs. They didn't quite find the boundary, but these two have run exceptionally well. Nigeria finishing with the highest total of the tournament so far, 108 for 5.
It's been a really good partnership between Asika and Sunday. 23 of just 17 balls. That has really pushed the score up to 108 for 5, the highest, Ananya said. They should be really happy after winning the toss, choosing to bat and getting to 108, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. I think they showed that they learned a lot of lessons from their first game. Came out with some wonderful intent. Of course, the openers couldn't quite get going, but I thought Blessing Etim led the way. An exceptional knock, 34 of just 33 deliveries. She found the boundary 4 times through that innings. And she was well supported by Salome Sunday, who finished unbeaten on 33. 45 deliveries she took. She took her time, but she held that middle order, that lower middle order together. And then Omonia Asika, I think, played my favorite innings of the tournament so far. Just came in and ran as fast as her short legs could take her. And she looks up to Virat Kohli, so I think she ran a lot like Virat Kohli. Came in and just motored between the wickets, 11 of just 9 deliveries, and added some much-needed impetus towards the end. So it was a great innings by Nigeria, and hopefully they carry that confidence into their bowling innings as well, because they will need a lot of confidence, and they will need to execute very well if they are to restrict Kenya, who've shown that they have a lot of power at the top of the order.
Yeah, look at the batting card there. 34 from Blessing Etim in that middle order at number 3, a crucial spot. And then at number 5, Salome Sunday saying not out on 33 of just 45 balls. It's a good partnership between those two. 55 runs for the third wicket. And then there was a mini wobble. They lost a couple of wickets on 64 and 85. But as Ananya said, with his tiny legs, Asika Omonie and Salome Sunday ensured that they crossed the 100-run mark, and not just crossed it, they post 108 for 5, which should be well enough. But look at that figure, 16 extras. That should be something that the bowling coach will have a lot to work work on, because we even saw the wicket taker in Margaret Ngoche going wayward and bowling a few extras. So that's an area of concern for Kenya.
Yes, it is. I think Margaret Ngoche showed she showed the way at the start in her second over, bowling a couple of really, really good deliveries. But after that, she seemed to have lost her line. And of those 16 extras, she contributed 6 wides. So I don't think she can say much to the others. But yeah, Kenya have a lot to work on. But now they, of course, have to shift their focus to their batting, make sure they're able to chase down this target, because it's going to be a challenge.
Look at the upcoming fixtures. Namibia take on Botswana in the afternoon game. It is after this one. But before we go for the break, your thoughts? 109 to get for Kenya. Do you see them making a match out?
Well, after what we saw in their first game, I'd back to get this total. But again, I think 108 is going to be one of those tricky totals that they need to get out of the blocks well. Their openers need to contribute a decent amount, maybe 50, 60 of those. So I'd back Kenya to get it. I think they are the higher ranked team. They are the more experienced team. They know how to win matches. So I would back them. But I think Nigeria will challenge them.
Kenya, of course, have the power to overhaul the score, but will they do that? 109 is the target. We'll find that out in just a while.
Rahul Dravid. To be honest with myself and my game, Whiplash and Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. I used to be very superstitious, but I've realized it doesn't work anymore. I used to wear the same match kit if I did well throughout the whole tournament. It was one thing. Any desert. My T20 debut cap. Shah Rukh Khan. I really like Serena Williams. Dale Steyn, definitely. My mom.
Yeah, I think it's a great addition to know that we've got 2 test matches. Obviously, with the Ashes coming up next year, within 9 months is really nice actually, because usually it's 1 every 2 years, so they're more frequent than we usually have them. But I think it's just one of excitement. I love playing Test cricket. Don't play much of it, but when I do, and I know the girls do, we really enjoy it and really enjoy the challenge of doing something we don't do very often, and something, well, multi-innings cricket we don't do growing up. And I think it's really important that we keep Test cricket going in the women's game. I think realistically, T20 is the sport that's going to grow the women's game around the world, and I think we've seen that over the last 5 years. But I'd love to keep playing Test cricket, and I'd love to see the series, the multi-format series that we do for the Ashes. I don't know about the points for the India matches, but obviously we've got Test match, 3 ODIs, 3 T20s. I'd love to see that as the norm going forward. I'd love to play a Test match in India. I think it'd be a massive challenge, and Yeah, I think one of my proudest moments in an English shirt is scoring a Test match century, and that speaks for the way that Test cricket is seen. Yeah, I think it was awesome to see Stokesy talk about the women's IPL. I think the more allies we have in women's cricket, it really helps to change perceptions, and I think it's great from Ben to say that, and totally agree. I think it would be amazing for the women's game to have an IPL. I think you've seen it in Australia with the Big Bash, and hopefully here with the 100, having men's and women's competitions alongside each other are a really positive thing for the women's game, and really helps to progress things. So yeah, it was really nice to see that Ben made those comments.
Over the last week or so, there's been plenty of drama surrounding women's cricket in India. So much so that it's somewhat overshadowed all the good that's coming out of it. I'm talking about India's tour of England that's beginning on June 16th, the squad for which was announced recently, a 21-member contingent that will head off to England to play a test match, 3 ODIs, and 3 T20s. The series itself feels like it's going to be a story of comebacks. Test cricket, the non-Ashes kind, returns after 7 years. India tour England for a bilateral series after 7 years. And there are also several players in the Indian contingent who are making comebacks of their own. And speaking of comebacks, today on Beyond the Boundary, we're going to talk about someone who knows a thing or two about making comebacks of her own. India Seema Shikha Pandey, or if I should call her India all-rounder Shikha Pandey. Welcome to the show, Shikha. We're thrilled to have you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for having me, and you can call me bowling all-rounder. I'll be happy with that.
Okay, so bowling all-rounder Shikha Pandey. I'm going to start with a slightly uncomfortable question, address the elephant in the room, just so that we can get it out of the way. There's been plenty happening in the women's game recently, and I know you're not keen on talking about it, but I want to ask you, as someone who's so well informed, as someone who's so aware of what's going on and who's always reading everything, how do you keep your nose out of all this and keep your focus on the game?
I don't know. I mean, I've had a 7-year-long international career, and by now I know when I need to keep myself off social media and when I can log in again and, read about things. So yes, whenever I think I shouldn't be on social media, I just take time off and put these virtual blinkers on, because probably that has helped me focus better on my game. So yes, I mean that's how I do it. I still like reading about what's going on around and what's happening in women's sport and women's cricket, because I like to be informed, like you said. But then I know there's a when to kind of get off social media.
Okay, so the past year or year and a half has been quite difficult for everyone battling the pandemic. I mean, there's been so much loss of life, there's so much panic, the stresses that come with lockdown, with caring for loved ones, but so much grief. Has all this given you, I suppose, a new perspective on life or how you see the game itself?
Yes, firstly, I would like to, use your platform to say a big thank you to all the healthcare workers and essential service providers. I mean, we don't realize, but they have had really tough. They have had it really tough for the past 1.5 years, and huge respect and gratitude to them. It is because of them, like people like you and me can sit here and talk about cricket. So a lot of lives have been lost. So just that, I request everyone who's listening to this, please wear a mask, follow all the safety protocols, and do everything that you can. Get yourself vaccinated and do everything that you can to help these guys, help us stay safe. And please keep your loved ones near and safe, and keep in touch with all of them. The last 1.5 years has actually taught me to respect life more, I wouldn't say my perspective towards life has changed, but just that I am so thankful for the life that I have, and I consider myself to be really privileged because there are so many out there who are finding it difficult even to find one day's meat. So really privileged, but then I really understand how privileged I am and how thankful I am for the life that I have. And the very fact that I'm able to do something that I love is a huge plus for me.
So let's get down now to the cricket itself, and this is going to be your third trip to England, the second in which you're going to play a test match. How Blessing at him to kick off proceedings for Nigeria with the ball. Starts with the dot. Starts with this. Someone seems to be walking across the side screen. Queen are able to take strike. Short, wide. Keeper misses it, but there is a short third back.
Queen Torable and Veronica Abuga opening the batting for Kenya. Two dot balls, 18 Blessing to start with the bat. Taking the first over as well. Welcome back, Ananya.
Thank you. Kenya's innings underway with a nicely timed late cut from Queen Torable. Slightly short of a length, just guided past that between backward point and point. She comes back for 2 runs, Queen Torable. And now a forceful shot down the ground. Nigeria already have a long off in place, so clearly they've done their homework. 3 runs off the first over from Blessing Etim. Kenya 3 for no loss.
Sign up on the Player Spot app and get up to 100% cash back on your first deposit. We hope you're making the Player Spot fantasy team based on these games and winning big. Three without loss. We saw Kenya start off in an aggressive fashion yesterday in the last match. Joy Efosa takes the new ball from the other end. That aggressive start is something that they would be eyeing for today, given that they have 109 to chase, almost they did yesterday.
Yes, they'll be relying on these two to get them off to a good start. They are chasing a much bigger total, so they may not be as aggressive or as reckless. They were slightly reckless yesterday, but they may not bat that way. They'll definitely need to find early. Slightly uppish drive there from Abuga. She checks her shot just in time. We saw early on in the first that Nigeria already had a long off in place for Queen Torable. Short, wide, swished at, missed again. How much do you think they've learnt from watching that first game between Kenya and Botswana?
I think it seems that they've learned something at least, because as you pointed out, there's long off in place right away. But what remains to be seen as he plays it aerially towards long on, goes on the bounce. It's Abuga. But it's almost like there's going to be a storm. You take your umbrellas and go. It's about how less or how much you get wet. That is something that we'll have to see with Nigeria. They are prepared with their field set, but how less damage can come out of this inning. Tell us more. This is short and wide, cut away nicely through covers, the cover point. We get a couple once again. This is good running. The Queen Torable, let's talk about her. She's a busy customer, be it with the bat or with the ball.
She is. She's one of Kenya's more aggressive batters. We saw that in the first game as well. Scored 35 of around only 18 or 19 deliveries. So she can go at a rapid rate, finds the boundary quite easily. She's very strong down the ground. So Nigeria have got their bases covered, got a long off and long on in place. But they cannot afford to bowl short and wide to her if they have a straight field. They'll need to get those lengths and lines right if they want to keep this pair quiet. That's 5 runs off the over, so Nigeria 8 for no loss in 2.
It's nicely hit down the ground once again. Score moves to 9 after 2.1 overs. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Head over to the app. Link is in the description and make your team for the next clash. The Botswana v Namibia. That will be the afternoon game. 109 is what Kenya is chasing right now. She trapped in her in front. No, says the umpire, and almost immediately indicates that it might have gone down leg. This is not very usual in your normal games where there is DRS and whatnot, but it did not seem to me as if it would miss the leg stump. What's your thought, Ananya?
We have a very from the umpires. So I wouldn't want to rush into making a decision from behind the batter, but from here I'm not sure which part of the pad it hit. I think that's usually what helps the umpire make those decisions. If it's the middle of the pad when you're playing a sweep shot, you're usually giving out. But if it's closer to the straps, then maybe the batter gets the benefit of the doubt.
I see Nick did this one. There's a huge appeal. There's celebrations. But Agazuma doesn't want to, I beg your pardon, Abuga doesn't want to leave. And she's got a thick edge and she has to walk back. There was a little bit of a bounce. The bowler was confident. The wicket keeper was confident. Abuga wasn't going anywhere. But the umpire have nothing of it and she's here. And on the next ball, she slogs one through mid wicket for another couple. Very unfortunate, the bowler. Another one played nicely off the inner height. Abuga, fortunate to be in the middle. A close LB shout and then a caught behind dismissal not given. The 3 overs gone. 12 for no loss.
Fosa Joy in for her second over and she gets she finds the edge of Queen Torable's bat, but it doesn't carry, so the batters sneak through for a single from short third man. Another full delivery from Fosa Joy. Abuga not able to get underneath it, squirts it out to point. There are some good attacking lines from Nigeria. And slightly short, slightly wider. She cuts it over the top, get all of it, manages to squirt it over point. Looks like there's one short. Veronica Abuga hasn't reached the crease at the non-striker's end. So that will count only as 1 run. An uppercut over backward point. She gets 1 run.
The stare that Queen Terable gave her partner. It almost seems as if Abuga is trying a bit too hard to get those boundaries. Well, it's a run chase that was asking for 5.5 at the beginning. They just have to keep the scoreboard ticking. Abuga's efforts are, in fact, going to be detrimental to their cause. The 2 runs of the over so far. The technical glitch, which means that scores are not keep getting updated. We'll keep you posted. 15 without loss so far. And a full ball drilled down the ground. Boundary first in this Kenyan innings. Finally, almost to 19. It was full outside off. He hoiked it. There was a long on from ball number 1, but there was little that the fielder there could do. 19 without loss. Another one short one trying to pull it away. Misses it completely. That is the end of the 4th over. 19 without loss, Kenya. That 20 over. Sign up on the Player Spot app and get 100% cash back on your first deposit. We hope you're playing the fantasy game on the Player Spot app. Lots of rewards to be won there. First one was in wide on the offside, the next one on the down the leg side. So moves to 21. Getting into her 3rd over. Nicely tapped to the offside for a quick single. But is it almost a target that confuses the batter? Because, as I said, under 5.5 and over, you don't know whether to go hard or you can take your time. Because we saw with Rwanda yesterday, just didn't cross the line because they started a bit slowly. So is this score in that region?
I think so. It probably is one of those tricky scores. Good ball from Blessing Eatum straight, pushing Abuga back. she just taps it back to her. I think it is one of those tricky scores where you're not very sure whether you can go all guns blazing or you need to set a bit of a platform. But I think what good T20 teams have shown is that you should continue to play good cut shot, but straight to point there. That you should continue to play the way that is natural to you, regardless of what the score is. As most batting coaches say, take the scoreboard out of the equation. It's easier said than done, of course. But yeah, I think batters should just continue to play their attacking style if that is what's natural to them. And Veronica Abuka flays that over the bowler. Over long gone. It looks like a 6. Let's see what the umpire says. It is, in fact, a 6. A powerful slog down the ground. Just clears her front leg and smacks over long gone. I think she's made her intentions clear. She wants to go after this total. She's not going to play conservatively. Attacking style if that is what's natural to them. And Veronica Abuka flays that over the bowler. Over final ball's an edge. Just falls short of short third. But no damage done. Blessing SM gets away with a dot ball to end the over.
Five overs gone in the chase. Kenya are 28 without loss. Mary Desmond is introduced in the attack. Right arm seamer. But in the last over, we saw Abuka with the first 6 of this edition Kwibuka T20 Tournament. Just the second in her T20 career. That's well wide. And that was adventurous. She almost hit right to the point fielder and rushed across for a single. Abuka was quick to respond as well. No damage done. 30. Mary Desmond has really begun well. She does admire Nathan Lang, but she seems to be bowling Seema at the moment. Bowled 10 T20 wickets to her name.
This one played through the offside off the back foot. Powerful shot again. It seems like the outfield has slowed up a little bit from the last couple of days. What do you think, Sudarshan?
I guess this is probably rewarding in the sense you manage to get amount of power as well as time behind to reward you, whereas otherwise there seems to be a lot of grass there. But at the end of the over, break time means change time, and a good time to check strategies on the Players Spot app. To download the app from the description. Abuga seems to be in a bit of and yet he responded quickly to a couple of Abel's calls in the last over. And seems to be a bit of trouble with her hamstring there.
Looks like that's Queen to Abel, in fact.
Agat Bulor.
Go ahead, go.
In fact, it was Queen Torable. And we see Agatha Obulor warming up for her first over this game. 109 is what Kenya are chasing. But it seems to be, to me, the same surface that's been used for the fourth consecutive game, for the fifth consecutive game. But still holding up well.
It is holding up well, and in fact, it looks a lot better than it did on the first day. I think on the first day, it seemed a little too paced. We didn't see the batters able to find their timing quickly, but today, the last couple of days, it has looked a lot better. Another strong pull shot, but she just finds the bottom edge. Trickles off, trickles down to long on, and Kenya get a single. Another run added to Queen Abel's account. She looks in a bit of pain here. Strong shot from Abuga off the back foot. She punches it to long off. Kenya keeping the scoreboard ticking, trying not to play too many dot balls. Setting a strong base, thanks to Sudarshan.
Lovely hit over extra cover. They are seeing the pace, and you talked about learning from observing others. They saw how Blessing Etim and Salome Sunday went up with their partnership. It was full out there. All her. Abu got put into that, and it goes to cover fence for a boundary. And I think blessing at him and Salome Sunday about lovely hit over extra cover. That's well bowled. Sunday and Etim, 55 for the third wicket for Nigeria after they were 9 for 3. That surely must one of the ways of going about for the openers of Kenya, Abu well as Abel. Ball almost played on. 44 without loss. At the end of 7 overs.
On the ground. Kenya to that 50-run mark. Bit of a misfield from point, but the cover point fielder backs her up nicely. Another swing and a miss. It's been a good over here from Mary Desmond so far. Just conceded the 1 run and bowled, of course, a wide first delivery of the over. Another near miss there. Cover from Mary Desmond comes to an end. Kenya 47 for no losers. slogged to deal. Single, another single to Abuga. Apart from that gigantic six that she hit over long on, it doesn't quite look like Veronica Abuga has found her timing. A strong over the top by Queen Torable. She looks to be struggling slightly, not motoring as quickly between the wickets as she was before. Slow, loopy delivery, and Veronica Abuga steps out, crashes it down to long on. And with that single, Kenya bring up their 50. 50 for no loss in just 8.5 overs. It's been an excellent start by these openers. Dot ball to finish. 901, Kenya 50 for no loss.
For no loss for 9-0. And John Leather, who tweets hyper cost on Twitter, updates that this is the first ever T20I 50 for the opening wicket for Kenya. Thanks for that stat, John. But really going well. That run chase for Kenya. Yeah, they chased around 58 in quick time. Yeah, they have to chase double, but I think the way both the openers have paced it far, as you said a while back, that Veronica seemed to be struggling with her timing, but she scored faster than Queen Torre.
Yes, she has scored faster than Queen Abel, but I think Abel looks to be struggling here. She's really limping between the wickets. Good delivery there from Mary Desmond. She's bowling a good spell here, really attacking the stumps, not giving the batters much to work with, pushing them. She's brought Kenya's run rate down quite significantly into her third over, only 9 runs so far. And another swing. Nigeria trying to build the pressure with some dot balls. Queen Torable giving her opening partner some instructions from the non-striker's end. A cut pass backward point, and they sneak another. And with that, the over comes to an end. Just 3 runs from Mary Desmond's third over. 53 for no loss, beg your pardon, in 10 overs.
For no loss after 10.1. Another 54 needed. We mentioned first time that Kenya have added over 50 for the first wicket. And fourth time overall when they've crossed 50 for any wicket in T20Is. They have a 100 run partnership as well in the format. But first time for the opening wicket this. Another very wide ball. Not given, which is a bit surprising. Taken, pushed towards mid wicket. Queen Terrible moves into 20s with that single, while Abuga 25 of 30 balls. Her best in the format is 27 runs. There's a lot of batters who have their highest score in the 20s. Yesterday, good shot inside out. There is protection in the team. But so far, what would you kind of hit on the face? Fortunate. Favor a Sigbe. The throw, she got a bad bounce and copped it on her face. Really, really painful. Surely see the medic staff out of the field. It seems that the skipper Agazuma is sending a good throw, but then copped on the face there. It's one of those places where magic spray won't help.
I've copped a few in my face, so I know how painful it can be. It's not much fun, and it doesn't swell up immediately, but the next day there will be a bump on your face. So I'm sure she'll power through it. I think her hands took a bit of pace off the ball, so probably wasn't too bad.
Pakistan sort of South Africa earlier this year. We had these live shows on where we had the former Pakistan coach, the current Scotland coach in Mark Cole. He had copped a blow into his face. Player, I guess, sometimes can understand getting that blow. You're part of the action. I guess it might pain a bit more being one of the support staff who doesn't play much, needn't play much during the practice.
I think it's easier to get hit because one of the times I got knocked on the face was when I was actually giving a a teammate throwdown. So I got an awkward chance there at mid-on. And deep mid-wicket fielder fumbles it as well. So a catch dropped, and then the deep mid-wicket fielder lets it go through. So Veronica Buga gets another life. This time she gets another boundary. Her second for the innings so far. Kenya are really riding their luck here. Nigeria aren't doing themselves any favors. 11 overs gone, 61 for no loss. A teammate throwdown, so
61 without loss, 11 overs gone. Veronica Apuga betters her best T20 performance, 30 not out, 21 for Winter Able. Of course, we are into day 3, the Kwibuka T20 Tournament. Finals on Saturday. It's a busy for women's cricket. Starting next week, India tour of England. The first test from next Wednesday, that is 16th of June in Bristol. While back live, Desmond was a half tracker. And has she done enough? Has the fielder done enough? Over the not sure if 4, but it seemed as if the field contact with the rope as well as the ball at the same time. It is given a boundary. With valiant chase, I think she might have just been in touch with the rope while she was trying to keep the ball. I think she's done the 3 runs there, 60 for no loss, 11.2 over, and able to strike right now as we speak. Yes, in returning to action next week, test in Brisbane. We'll be back to playing test after a long time. Last time they played was in 2014. Another inside edge, the ball to be onside for another single. 65 is the score. Hitting another 44. Zone will be covering the series in live after the base play on test and the pre, mid, and during the series as well. Lots of action coming your way. And it's a short ball pulled away. Queens are able not be able to run fast. She's surely able to and take those couples that are on offer. 26 of 37.
Strong back foot punch from Veronica Abuga. She gets a single there. Kenya moving along nicely. 68 in 12.1 overs. Queen Torable jumps down the track. Doesn't quite get hold of that delivery. Just kind of scoops it over Favour Esigwe. She survives. Slow, very, very loopy delivery. Queen Torable heaves it towards mid-wicket and jogs a single. She looks like she's in a bit of pain here, but as they say, injured batters are usually very dangerous. Do you think she's going to tee off now?
Not sure if she might. She's surely displaying qualities that her idol in Stephanie Taylor many a time. Seen Stephanie battle to Spain and bat the side, which is what Queen Torable is doing at the moment. 27 of 41, 70 without loss. That's a good shot. It's already Kenya's highest partnership in T20. They had a couple of T8 the format, and this is was the first crossed 50 together as an opening pair. 71 would loss or 12.5. Would loss or 12.5. $71 for one after 13 overs with Nigeria. The injured Queen Torable losing her off stick to Favour Esigbe. So the injured bat bowler getting rid of the injured batter.
Strong shot from Queen Torable down the ground. Beg your pardon, it was Veronica Abuga who was dismissed by Favour Esigbe. And Queen Torable takes mantle, smashing the bowler down the ground for 4. Poor effort from the fielder. Nigeria continue to make misfield. They aren't really helping themselves. Kenya motoring along. Another short delivery from Salome Sunday. Top edge from Queen Torable. It looks like the fielder collects it on the bounce. A single. Another run added to Kenya's total. And for the first time in this game, skipper Ngoche takes strike. She looked good in the previous game. Do you think she's going to continue where she left off? Or is her poor day going to continue after her time with the ball?
Not as smooth as a start that she had the other day with the bat. I'm going to count on Margaret to come good because she's in my players spot fantasy team. And I think and I like to believe the team is winning big on the players spot app. आपने hashtag खेला क्या? You check out the link on the description, but Goche is of the mark.
Good delivery there from Salome Sunday, beating Queen Torable outside her off stump. She's had a fair few plays and misses today. Hasn't quite looked in the same nick that she was in yesterday. Do you think the injury has something to do with that?
Quick single. Injury sure hasn't hampered her running between the wickets. And she is also making sure that her partners are not heavy on their heels. But I guess it's one of those days where every shot you hit is either early or late and not perfectly timed. And so one of those days, but 54 from 46 is still doing the job. One shy of her highest score in T20 is Queen Torable. So Abuga, there was a good partnership she had with Abuga.
Another quick single there, but Margaret Ngoche has to dive to make her ground, probably a little closer than they'd have liked. Still lying on the ground there, taking some time to get up. She made it in the end. Kenya inching closer. Now 80 for 1 after 4. They still need 30 of 36 deliveries, 29 of 36 deliveries. Right.
Favor Esigbe, the wicket taker, dismissed Veronica Abuga last ball. 80 for 120 needed. And say that Kenya are acing the chase.
Certainly are acing the chase. It seems a good, confident drive down the ground from the skipper. They should get there quite easily if these two continue to bat this way. Strong shot down the ground, but good field placement there. Nigeria surprisingly have something like a short mid-on. Sweep shot from Queen Torable. Short fine leg stops it, but they still sneak a single. That field placement to Queen Torable is quite interesting. Nigeria did have a long on quite early on in the innings, but they have a slightly deepish, silly mid-on, it seems. And no one behind her, just a straightish deep mid-wicket. Blocked nicely by the skipper. So what do you think of that field placement? If you were to ask me, I suppose I'd say it seems slightly strange considering she is very strong down the ground. What are your thoughts?
This is Nigeria trying to do a Kenya on Kenya with one of their own versions of a unusual field setting, because right through the tournament we've seen Kenya have a shot cover. And here's one. Is it also an indication that Nigeria want to experiment field and want to play test screen weird or unusual fields in test format that India into next week? Is that a sign that Nigeria are telling everybody that they want to play test as well?
Well, it's either that or they're just playing on Queen Torable's ego, I think, challenging her to go down the ground, saying, "We don't think you can clear the fielder." But Kenya continue to find the runs, 84 for 1 in 15 overs.
Margaret Ngoche and Queen Torable middle, 25 to get up the last 5 overs. The only player to have scored a 50 Kenya in T20I so far, while Queen Torable has equaled her best of 35 not out. They need 25. She needs 15 to join her skipper in that category. You don't want to jinx it, and I don't think we have the power, but if you were to have your say, do you see that happening? Do you see 15 of the next 25 that Kenya needs?
I think it'll be really, really hard. She hasn't found her timing today, so to see her scoring 15 of those 25 is, I think it would be difficult. But it'd be nice if she'd get there. I think she's played really well. Hasn't quite found her timing, but stuck it out, and that's important. I think in a chase, if you have one of your toppers batting through, it really helps and it gives a lot of confidence to the side. So it'd be great if she gets her half century, but I think Kenya will take the win.
Because what has helped Kenya up till this point is that stand 71 runs between Veronica Abuga and Queen Torable. Second highest ownership for them in T20s, the best for the opening wicket. Nigeria trying to, and remember, there's the second away coming after this one. Botswana, who have lost both their encounters, take on Namibia, who won both theirs convincingly. That's clever. Very slow ball by Sunday. Goche down. Volumes about the ability she possesses. There she goes over the top. Has she connected it well? Not really. A couple of bounces to long gone. She gets a couple to 37 of 49 balls, score 81. Yes, 87. That number, or as they say, the Australians don't like.
Another slow, very, very loopy delivery from Salome Sunday. Interesting tactics here. She's bowling. It looks like she's spin with a long run up. This is nothing like a medium pacer. Her slow balls are very, very, very slow. I think she'd challenge Poonam Yadav with that pace.
And well, almost as if watch replays of the way Salome is bowling, you might need a fast motion camera and not a slow motion because she's running in slow motion and the ball's delivered slower than that. Another couple of runs, 39 of 51 balls for Queen Torable. Score moves to 89 for one Kenya. Just 20 needed. And in such cases, it's the batter who has to generate all the shot.
Yes,
How
exactly.
do you
And I think
manage to hit a
that's exactly why we're seeing Queen Torable just camp on her back foot. She's trying to give herself as much time and space to swing as hard as she can. We saw the South Africans just after this ball. Margaret Ngoche comes down the track to deal with her, with her partner. But they get 2 runs nonetheless. I'll get back to your question in the next over, because this one's done. Kenya moved to 92 for 1 in 16 overs.
$74? Make a match-winning team on the PlaySpot app and win up to ₹5 crores every day. Hashtag Khela Kya. And it's an easy catch. Queen Torable fails to join her skipper in that elite group, trying to take the aerial route, holds out to mid-off. She walks back for 40.
And again, it looks like it was the lack of pace that really got to her. She was through her shot much before the ball got to her. Just managed to spoon it up. Easy catch there for mid-off. Kenny 2 for 2 now. They still need 17 runs.
Sharon Juma, the wicketkeeper batter, walks in at number 4 for Kenya, who needs 17 of 23. Queen Torable has dismissed on 40 for best in T20I. Is there a twist in this? Because Etin Blessing has got a wicket now. It's the last over, 3.1 overs, 18 to 1. Who else do they bowl? There's 2 overs from Salome Sunday. They go back to Agatha Kubulor, who has bowled just 1 over for 7. They go back to Esther Joy, who picked up a couple of wickets in the last game.
think it's going to be a very interesting choice. If you look at the numbers, Afosa Joy is probably who you'd pick. She did get a couple of wickets in their first game as well. The experience of someone like Agatha Obulur, you may want to entrust her with an over. That's well played, very well played, and extremely well run. It's just game smarts from Margaret Ngoche, showing her experience there. Just looking to get the easy ones, not going for the glory shot, and that's what's really important for Kenya. Just need to find a way to line.
Another one in the block hole, and that has been dug out nicely. It didn't seem that the ball had the legs to go towards the fence, but it almost went and crossed the ropes. 93 for 2.
Fantastic bit of timing there from Sharon Juma. But good work in the deep as well, keeping it to 2. Another run added to the total there. So at the very start of this innings, there was something that troubled me slightly. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but Kenya had 5 penalty runs added to their total. And I was wondering why that was. And it seems we've come to understand wide delivery from Etim, not helping Nigeria at all. But we've come to understand that ran on the pitch a couple of times. She got 1 warning, and it seems the umpire then had to give Kenya 5 penalty runs. Finds the gap. They should come back for a couple of runs there. Kenya's total moves to 97 for 2. 17 overs done, and 11 runs to get.
Sign up on the Player Spot Fantasy app and get 100% cash back on your first deposit. And you could do well to do that because there's another game coming after this one where Botswana and Namibia face off. 3 overs to go, 12 to get. And Nigeria have brought in a new bowler in Rachel Sampson. Thought they might go with Agatha Obulur, 1 over for 7, but she has 12 wickets in the format. Her average is one of the best. But they've decided to go with Rachel Sampson's team. And she begins with the ball down the leg side. She has 11 wickets in the format. Does Rachel Sampson. Eleven more needed. 3 overs. Shot. What a shot. Has she got it off the meat of the bat? Yes, she has. Might not have gone the distance, Have to wait for the umpire's signal, but really pummeled that one beautifully. Was in the slot, and it found the real estate on the onside.
Fine shot there from Sharon Juma. These Kenya batters look very, very powerful. Solid base and a clean swing through the line of the ball.
Shot. What a shot. She got it off the meat of the bat. Yes, she had.
Another wide down the leg side from Rachel Sampson. It was a bold call from Agazuma to give the ball to Rachel Sampson at this point. Hasn't quite worked for Nigeria. Swing and a miss. Just passes the off stump.
It's on the brink of the win, yet they're taking these quick singles. Shows the urgency and the intent. Just four needed. And the skipper, Margaret Goche, is on strike. And she wants to take a sweet time to tie her shoelaces. Just about one shot. Taking her own sweet time. Another match coming through in game. Botswana and Namibia take on each other. Top ranked, the top placed team in this competition, the Kwibuka T20 Tournament, and versus the bottom based one in Botswana. What a way! He almost thought that it beat the long off fielder, but I think she did well to cut it off and keep it down just to two. Three more needed. Go on and have your prediction hat on. A 6, a 4, or something else to win this game for Kenya.
The way these two have batted, if Margaret and Goche is on strike, I'm going to go 6 double. I'm not quite sure.
For 108 for 2 in 18 overs, just one to win. Sharon Juma will in all likelihood have the chance to get the winning run, unless Samson delivers one down the leg side. In fact, it's Joy Efosa who's brought back. One needed it short, it's pulled away, and it lands around the circle towards mid wicket, and that is the winning run for Kenya. It comes in form of a single, as you said, Ananya, but nonetheless in 2 games for Kenya. This has been a good performance. Thanks, and they should be thanking their openers for the 71-run stand. Queen Torable scoring 40, Veronica Abuga with a 33, 71 for that over. Easy once the base was set, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and we had this discussion before the chase began about which Kenya should take, and I think they batted quite beautifully. Neither of the batters quite found their timing, but they kept at it. They kept looking to keep the scoreboard ticking. They ran very hard between the wickets, which was very important because they weren't able to find the boundary at the previous game. But I think both Queen Torable and Veronica Abuga batted quite brilliantly, set the base, and then Margaret Ngoche, of course, batted very, very sensibly. And as Margaret Ngoche and Sharon Juma dance off the field, it's a good way to celebrate what's been an emphatic win. And why they're the highest ranked team in this competition. Thoroughly deserved victory.
They do, and to go back to the beginning, it's almost as if Nigeria came equipped with the umbrellas, but the storm was a bit too much for their umbrellas to withstand. An 8-wicket Kenya, 109 for 2. Kenya's next match against Namibia is tomorrow, the morning game, while Namibia will face off against Botswana a little while from now. Do join us for that game, and don't go anywhere because the presentations are coming up.
start off the presentation. I'd like to invite the coach, Team Nigeria, to give us some few remarks here. Mr. Onome, coach. Hello. Yeah, you'll forgive me, coach, for putting you into the hotspot. Look at the people. Tell them about the match. What are your remarks from the game?
Well, congratulations to Kenyan team. I must say that you guys give us something to worry about. And at the same time, we're actually hoping to beat you guys. But it's just unfortunate that you took it at the last minute. You guys are way higher than us in ranking. And we're just hoping to take a quick defeat from you guys so that we can be rated also. But you guys did very well, and I think I want to congratulate my team, Nigeria. You guys did very, very well. You should walk with your heads up. Be proud of yourself. This is a team we're just building, and I'm sure in the next few years you have something to worry about. Thank you.
Very well spoken, coach. Thank you very much. Mzee Wakazi. Coach Lamek Onyango, please step up for some few remarks as well, for some questions. You'll be in the hot seat for a few seconds, don't worry. Coach, tell me, Kenya, we are not coming here. Then Kenya came here. Now 2-2. How happy are you?
Well, what I would say, it has been very tough on our side since we started having problems with the board, and then until when the last minute. We appreciate what the minister did by coming in and saying that the ladies will go to their tour. And I'm very proud of my ladies as usual. And what I would say also is that what the Nigerian coach has said, I want to remind him that I've stayed outside for 2 years without doing anything. And we've come and it is not going to be easy for any of the teams either. So what I would say is that I'll say well done to the Nigerian team for the effort that you've kept to today. And if you keep working hard as the coach has said, very soon you'll start seeing the fruit. So don't give up. Head high, and that's sport. There must be a winner and a loser.
Well spoken, coach. I'll restrict it to just one question. Thank you, coach. You can take your place. I would like to give a round of applause to the umpires that have stood in today. Mr. Olivier Intagishaka, you can put up your hand for recognition. Thank you. Jackson Zaisenga, please. And big man, tall man, Eric Hirwa, Ndusebamungu, former captain, Team Rwanda, is now retired from international cricket. To give out this award is a man who's played for this country, is a man who's been in the board, is the general manager, Cricket Rwanda, Mr. Emmanuel Biringiro. Three contestants for the match award. First and foremost, you must give her a very big rousing applause. 2020 cricket is all about big hits, and that is Veronica Buga. She was the third contestant for the match award. She got 33 of 36 balls. Well played, Veronica. The second contestant, or the runner-up for the match award, is a team blessing. The heart and soul of Nigeria's batting lineup. She got 34 runs from just 33 balls. But the woman of the match is a player. She bowled 4 overs. She got 1 wicket for 19 runs. She took a catch. She wears shirt number 20. And she got 40 runs with the bat, 40 of 53. Quinta Abel. Seba Quinta. Quinta, a quick question. How easy is it for you? You do it with the bat, you do it with the ball, and you do it in the field. You got some runs yesterday, and again, you're in the mix with the runs. How easy is it for you?
I would say it's not easy. I'm just putting my 100% when I'm thinking about it.
Do we expect more of the same from you going forward? You still have another 3 to 4 matches to play.
Yes.
Tell us about your team as well. Give a few remarks. Who do you pick out who's been very instrumental in the 2 matches so far?
Okay, what I'll say about my team is they're supportive. Despite everything that we do on the field, they're supportive. Definitely we have ups and downs when we are inside there, but we back each other up. That's what I love about my team. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Quinta. I've been your host. This is the end of the presentation award. Coming up shortly is another big game, Botswana against Namibia. So stay around, enjoy your lunch for now.